Hey, good evening, everybody. It is Steve with Real Progressives. We're going to talk a message to politicians, my friends and folks that are not necessarily my friends, who are running for office. We're talking to political parties. So tonight's message is a political one. It is one of efficacy, and it is one of understanding what it is that not only your constituents want, but what else is in the needs of the country, the people that would consider you to be a brother or sister in the fight. So first things first, and I want to be real clear here. In talking with people over the last 3 years, we almost all to a fault share the same desires for the same exact policy prescriptions. I don't care if you're green. I don't care if you're Movement for a People's Party. I don't care if you're Progressive Independent Party. I don't care if you're Progressive Democrats, Justice Democrats, whatever. We all say we want the same exact thing. We say this. However, let me be very clear. When we talk to candidates over and over again, and partially I want to blame this on our education system. Partially I want to go against our media. Part of me wants to go against our existing parties who have built up stories that they use against the other guy. But the reality is that we have a policy platform that everybody wants. So Movement for a People's Party, I had Nick Branya on with me the other night. And we talked about their very, very robust platform. Well, come to find out, there are Greens who are saying, well, wait a minute, that looks an awful lot like the Green Party message. And then, of course, the Progressive Democrats are saying, well, guys, we're doing the same thing over here in the Vote Blue world. Come help us take over the party. So what I want to talk to you all about is the message. Because I don't really give a shit where you are. I don't care what party you're in. It doesn't mean anything to me. I despise politics with the heat of 1,000 suns. I focus only on truth, and I focus on issues. And I find kindred spirits wherever they exist, and I go with them. As it goes, people will tell you whatever it is that they need to tell you to get elected right now. That's the name of the game. They will say whatever they think will get them elected. And I'm telling you this because I'm looking at people, all of us, before some of these folks even went out there and filed their candidacy, they were out there actively complaining about the existing incumbents who just did whatever their donors said to do. Now already, I'm watching people hedge their bets. They know the truth, but they won't say the truth because they're afraid the truth won't get them elected. And this, my friends, are people that you would consider to be quote-unquote progressives. So my message to the people that are running for office, and my message to the parties, is that just because we share a common platform doesn't mean that you have a common understanding of how to implement that platform. If you understand the truth of how things get done, and you're afraid to speak that truth publicly and go out and educate your constituents and go ahead and boldly speak to it, so you embrace this expanding optimism, this expanding imagination that allows us to do great things. If you're playing it safe, if you're even playing lies, if you're lying. Now, I'll give you an example. Sam Ronan on his website talks about balanced budgets. Sam Ronan on his website talks about accelerating deficit reduction. Okay? Now this is a guy who I've had on with me personally 4 times. 4 times we've had Sam on this show. 4 times. And he's been on other people's shows as well at Real Progressives. And he knows the truth. But he said, I'm not running on MMT. If you think I'm going to run on MMT, you're crazy. Well, nobody said you got to run on MMT, but you've got to not lie, right? You got to not lie. And so if you run around talking about how we've got to reduce the deficit and you know better, you're part of the problem. You're part of the problem, and you're no better than Hillary Clinton, and you're no better than any of the other scumbags that we want to get out, right? You want to get rid of them all. Vote them out, vote them out, vote them out. Well, if you're saying the same lies that they say, what is the point of voting for you? What value do you bring? What is your reason for running for office? Are you an egomaniac? You just want to be elected? Or are you serving the people and you're going to get some legislation passed? Now listen, I understand the difference between campaigning and governing. And they are the different, because you've got to get in so that you can govern. So we're not talking about, you know, hey, you've got to be like this MMT guy. But if you're going to tell me that you want to get high-speed rail, if you're going to tell me that you want to get Medicare for all for everyone, if you want to tell me that you want to get student debt relief, and you want to tell me that you want to also give free college, if you want to tell me that you want to give paid family and medical leave, if you want to tell me that you want to invest massively in green energy, if you want to tell me that you want to do all these things, if that's what you want to tell me, but then you turn around and you say that you want to reduce the deficit, you say you want to balance the budget, you say you want to end waste, you want to go after the austerity hounds, right? You remember Bill Clinton wanted to reinvent government? So he went around and they trimmed all the fat and they cut all the programs because they were eliminating waste. That right there, my friends, is coming from a mindset that dollars are scarce and that we can't do great things, that we've got to save money to be able to afford things. And that right there is exactly why you won't get any of those policy prescriptions whatsoever. None of them. Because what you've done is you've signaled to the world that we cannot afford anything. Or exactly, Zachary. Or you've got to raise taxes. Well, guess what's going to happen the minute your butt gets to Congress? The Republicans in the Norquist Pledge kick in, and they say no new taxes, period. We are not raising taxes. So now people aren't getting health care. Now we're not getting green energy. Now we're not getting free college. Now we're not getting rid of student debt. On and on and on. And we've elected you. Now you get to go around and say, I was a congressman from Ohio. Or I was a senator from Washington State. And you get your little perks. And you get your little pat on the back. But your constituents are screwed. And then you're doing what Cory Booker does. You're going around saying, it just wasn't the right deal, man. We couldn't do it. It just wasn't the right thing. So I voted against making pharmaceuticals cheaper. The same freaking thing. So when the political parties come out and they come out with these cute little, niche-y things that don't have anything to do with reality, but they're cute and they sound fun and they play well on social media. And then what they do is they prepare their give-up strategy. These parties will get their, hey, vote green, damn it. Vote blue. Vote for somebody. But yet they got no core. They got no nothing. They come out there on these interviews. We have people come through here doing interviews all the time. And I'm telling you right now, many of them, they're good. Hey, they're probably decent people. Some of these people, when I listen to them talk, my skin crawls. My stomach gets sick because I know damn well that they don't have what it takes between the ears to pay for their programs. They don't know what it takes to actually get any of those massive programs done. And so we, once again, are stuck. Once again, we're stuck. And it's the people, it's your children that suffer. So when you run a candidate, when you decide you're going to run for office, and if you really, really hated hearing Hillary Clinton claim to be a progressive who got things done by selling out everything that mattered. Oh yeah, she got things done all right. She sold us out to Wall Street, etc., right? Unless you want to just be Hillary Clinton. Unless you just want to do this. Just to do it so you can tell your, hey, I was once a congressman. I didn't accomplish anything. But damn it, I sure got elected. Right? If that's what your definition of success is, if that's your definition of success, I will do everything in my power to block you from getting elected. You have my word on it. We can do a pinky promise that if you sit there and you do that, I will do everything I can to destroy your candidacy. That's a God's honest truth. Everything in my power to block you. Shit or get off the pot. You don't have to run around going, I love MMT. Because MMT just is. What you can do, though, is you cannot talk about oh my God, the debt is so mounting. Or, oh my God, deficits, because they're bullshit. Okay? What you can do instead is say, oh, guys, you worried so much about me spending on you. Tell me where we got the $800 billion for the military. So really, we don't have to really have this conversation, do we? You want to blow people up. I want to get them to school. I want to get them cancer treatment. I want to get a therapist in there for every kid with autism. That's what I want to do with my $800 billion. How about you? Are you still going to talk about deficits? Are you still going to talk about the debt? Candidates, I'm telling you right now, there's no need to hedge your bets. Your job is to expand the consciousness of this nation. Your job is to sell a better dream and deliver. Who is sick and tired of these candidates running around telling you that they're going to give you free college? They're going to go ahead and give you green energy. Oh yes, it's in my plan. I'm really going to give you green energy. Excuse me, I have a cold. How many of you are sick and tired of watching these folks talk about how, yes, absolutely, water is a right. We should always make sure people have water, but yet they have no idea how to pay to get Flint, Michigan clean water. You know, they don't want to talk the word MMT, no problem. But you sure as hell better be able to tell me exactly how you plan to pay for getting Flint, Michigan water. Well, you know, it's really this very complicated tax deal. We're going to raise taxes on this little group, and then we're going to raise taxes on gasoline, and then we're going to put a surcharge on cigarettes, and then we're going to put a nickel charge on beer. Just shut up. That's not what you're going to do. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. It's just stupid. And for the people that know better, I'm coming after you full bore. I'm not giving you a pass. Your job, once you know, is to do better. You know better, you do better. You know better, you do better. But for those people that don't know better, what in the world have you actually gotten yourself? Some guy, Patrick Gregan, blah, blah, blah. Patrick, you're probably part of the problem in this country, right? My guess is you are. My guess is it's people like you that allow people that lie to go ahead and get elected. As long as you get to be there and part of their entourage, right? As long as you get to be part of the entourage, riding around, going to the expensive dinners, hanging out at the CNN press conference and going, "Hi, Mom, see, I'm friends with this dipshit that just lied to everybody." Yeah. I'm telling you right now, the fact of the matter is that political parties have got to stop hedging their bets. They've got to stop lying to the people. And they've got to start telling the fucking truth. Political candidates have absolutely got to... Okay, I'm sorry, buddy. My bad. So when it comes down to political parties, I have watched more people tell this grand story. And for those of you who heard me break Jill Stein's message down the other day, Jill Stein, God love her, I voted for her. But Jill Stein came out there and said, well, you know, we're going to pay for Medicare for all with smiles and health. And, you know, people are going to be happier and healthier, so it'll pay for itself in the end. No, that's not how it works in a monetary economy, with all due respect. It's just not how it works. I could not support that level of non-economic literacy. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want my kids to survive. This is not a joke here. Do you understand? If you vote for people that don't know how to do this stuff, that are just herd animals that will go with whatever the party says because they are spineless and they don't understand. If that's what you go with, folks, I'm telling you right now, you deserve what you don't get. You deserve everything that you don't get. But the problem with that scenario is that means that people like myself who do get it, don't get it either. This is why not me, us is so important. So when a candidate really does understand the truth and they double down, they don't just go quiet on the subject. They double down and talk about deficit reduction, debt reduction, and fanning the fears like we have some scarcity of dollars and fiscal prudence. When you hear that, they have not only just said, I don't want to talk about real economics, but then they have also doubled down and they've pushed the bar the wrong direction. They've lied and they've made things worse for everyone. If you're not fed up, why not? Why are you not fed up with this? Why do you allow these people to go on these shows? Why do you allow them to come to Real Progressives and do these shows and not sit there and call them out? You don't have to be rude and disrespectful, but you can sit there and say that is simply not true. You can write to their campaign after they're done and say, guys, you are literally screwing the pooch. That is not how it's done. And I'm telling you, 2018, if they have a blue sweep, all of a sudden all these quote-unquote progressives get in there. We have been interviewing progressives that are quote-unquote sponsored by Justice Democrats, sponsored by Brand New Congress, etc. And these people are talking about reducing deficits. Does Brand New Congress and Justice Democrats have no clue about economics? Do they not even get it? Are you seriously? Are we like that like the loners that get it? Because I'm telling you right now, they're sponsoring candidates that don't understand economics, that do not understand economics at all. How in the world are any of these candidates, any of them, going to pay for the solutions that we need to survive? We're not just talking about, wouldn't it be nice? I'd like a lollipop and maybe a video game. I'm talking about making sure that people don't have to make a choice between their electric bill and their heart attack. How is it possible that you can support a candidate that can't deliver on that? I mean, serious as a hard hit. Why is it that you feel it's okay? Vote blue no matter who. Joe, no, seriously, go green. Do this. Based on what? Oh, the duopoly sucks. That's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. You better tell me exactly how you're going to pay for it. And that means you've got to convince other people in Congress. It means you've got to convince other people in the Senate. That means you've got to be loud and proud and teach the people, not just your own constituents, but everyone, so that we all have really, really nice things. I mean, I'm dead serious, folks. When you have people telling you tales from the fireside about economic stories that they know nothing about, but it sounds good because, my God, the duopoly's got to end. We've got to end the duopoly. Yes. But not at the expense of truth, just to do it. Hey, man, let's just do it. Why can't we do something right? Why do we have to do it shitty? Why do we have to do it crappy and worthlessly and not be effective? Why is it that we just, well, you know, that duopoly, you'll never change anything from the inside. And while I certainly agree, it's like, well, show me something better. Show me something. I don't want to just hear you pipe off about free college, green energy, you know, Social Security expanded, whatever, job guarantee, woo, woo. I want to hear you tell me how you're going to achieve it. And let me explain something to you. Whether our vote counts or not, I've said this so many times, I'm almost out of my mind saying it again. But for us voters, for us regular American citizens, whether our vote counts or not, let's just pretend like it's all for show. All of us creating civil unrest, united in truth and fighting for the same cause, will make any frigging government, regardless of how it came to power, take note and will actually do something. Richard Nixon didn't want to pass the EPA, but Richard Nixon passed the EPA. It doesn't matter. Stop focusing on the same thing that's going to change how our votes are counted, the same thing that's going to change how we change our voting system, the same thing that gets different people on the debate stage, etc., is all comes down to a mass movement. All of us must lock arms and focus on this thing. Like I said, the Green Party, they want to get rid of student debt. That's great. Movement for a People's Party wants to get rid of student debt. That's great. The Democratic Party, I don't know what they want. I don't know what they want. Maybe they want to do it for only people under 100,000 a year. You know, they want to do all that balkanization so everybody can still hate each other. Oh, damn, I made 101,000 this year. I can't get my student loans paid off. Damn it, I'm screwed. Here, add another $100,000 debt to you because you made an extra $500 that you shouldn't have made. Stupid. Just make it citizens' benefits and stop making us hate each other. Neoliberalism, screw you. It really comes down to holding out. Don't be an easy lay. Make these people work for your vote. Make them work for your allegiance. Don't just say, well, I really like his smile. It's a winning smile. And God, I just like it. He says all the right things. He really makes me happy. But can he actually do it? Can he do it? Can she do it? Can whoever do it? And if they are wimpy about saying it, you know that they don't know enough about it. Because once the light goes on, they will say it with conviction. I want to be that guy that walks into the bar, could have my choice of friends, whatever, and I don't sit there and just go home with somebody right off the bat. I want to be somebody that's picky and choosy and find somebody that really, really meets me right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just go and pretend like I'm not worth anything. And that's the way we are with our votes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh God, he's a Democrat. Of course I'm voting for him. Oh my God, he's Green Party. We're going green. Didn't you know that, Steve? We're going green. But he's talking about the private Federal Reserve and that we're in debt and all this other crazy stuff. How can you vote for a pissant that says that? You can't vote for somebody like that. They're a moron. They're devoid of knowledge. They're not going to help your family. Why would you vote for them? You get my point? I mean, I don't care what party you're in. If you don't understand, you're not getting anything done. So my message to candidates, we will help you till the day is long. If you need help understanding how to speak to paying for these things, we'll talk to you about it, because your party certainly won't do it. Your party is too corrupt. Even the Greens will sit there and tell you that, we got to raise taxes because the private Federal Reserve and interest, and they're going to get this. So you can't ask them for how you're going to pay for it, because they're going to lie to you. They're going to screw you up with bullshit. The Democrats, they only have one answer. That's tax, tax, tax. So your choice is to be truthful and stand tall, or go along to get along. And then we all get what we get, which is nothing. And that, my friends, is what I'm hoping we all can change come 2018. This CFAR pledge that Victor Tiffany and Kelly Lane, they're pushing forward with RAP that we support. That's great. That's a great policy. But I told you already, every one of you, I told you, we all pretty much to a fault agree on what the issues are. The problem is incompetence, shameful, belligerent incompetence when it comes to how to pay for the stuff. We're not just talking about like little shameful ignorance. We're talking about bold-faced, I don't know how to do it. Of course, we'll just raise taxes. I don't need to know that stuff, whatever. And you can see it in their faces, man. You bring this stuff up and their eyes go. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to know. And they don't get my vote. They don't get my support. No one does. Not one person that doesn't know how to pay for it. In fact, the only thing they'll do is get my scorn. You cannot jerk people around anymore. People need to see progress, real progress. People need health care, not Romney care, not bloated health insurance. They need real health care. People are suffering. They need their wages to go up. People that lose their job need to have a federal job guarantee so there's a public option. And they need it with benefits and a living wage, not $15 an hour. Fight for 15. Hey, man, guess what that does? It's like you're drowning in a river. And it's like, guys, we're going to fight for 15. It's like, yeah. But I still can't breathe and I'm still drowning. I'm still freaking drowning, right? Because anybody tried to live on $15 an hour before? You ever tried to live on $15 an hour? Let me tell you something. $15 an hour, it ain't getting you much of anything. I think that ends up being like $33,000 a year. Now, maybe if you shack up with some buddies and you all live in mom's basement, maybe. But I think you need a living wage with living benefits. And a federal job guarantee is the buffer stock for anyone that is let go, so that you don't have the company holding you in destitution as the thing that keeps you going. Like, think about this. If a company isn't going to treat you right, and you have the federal job guarantee to fall back on, companies will have to take care of their employees, won't they? Because not only will it be cost effective for you to stay on the job guarantee, companies are going to have to sweeten the pot to get you out of it. I mean, this is a way of raising the bar for everyone. Why aren't candidates talking about this? Because the party didn't tell them to? the party didn't tell them to? I'm telling you right now, demand better from these candidates. I'm telling you right now, some of the nicest, sweetest people out there don't have a clue how to pay for it. And when you tell them about it, they aren't going to answer because they don't know. But when it comes down to these new candidates, folks, you are welcome to come and ask questions. We will do the best we can to get experts to answer you. Not some friggin' dude that has been around, hanging around the Green Party forever, talks about AMI, we're going to green the dollar. Yeah, that's right, we're going to democratize the dollar. Not that shit. Real people that understand economics that can help you. Because it is going to take real economics for the 99% to win. For your vote for that person to matter. So, with that, I'm telling you right now, candidates, if you know better, do better, or I'm coming full bore after you. The whole organization will. If you know better, do better, or face the wrath, and we will get people knowing that you are lying. And for people that don't know any better, please, ignorance can be cured with knowledge. Ask us questions. We promise we will help you. And if you just don't have any idea of what you're doing, please don't run. If you have no interest in learning, and don't run. Just don't. We got to encourage people that mean business. Of all races, of all genders, of all age groups. We need people to care enough about the issues like the environment, our health, our education, our housing, our employment, you name it, that are really, truly fighting for us and not just going with what the party says. Because the neoliberal parties are only going to go ahead and push incrementalism this much because they don't know any better. Or if they do know better, they're charlatans. So I'm asking you all, please, for the new candidate's sake, for the incumbent's sake, I'm asking you to do your job as citizen voters and make them learn how to pay for the programs they're claiming they're pushing for. Because I'm telling you right now, I don't want to see you celebrating some punk that doesn't know how to pay for their programs getting elected because people didn't know any better. Because I can tell you right now, we don't have 1,000,000 years to get this through. The mounting student debt is so severe, it's not going to be long before you start seeing people really seriously kill themselves because they can't escape their student debt. And it's not right to see people who can't even find a job because the economy sucks because politicians don't understand how to finance stuff. So these people are strapped with this debt. They went to school, they did what they could, and now they're strapped with debt and they can't find work because of inept, incompetent politicians, neoliberals. Get mad. Demand better. And stop allowing people to just sit there and slope. Yeah, what do you want, Trump? No, you want a new deal and you want it yesterday. And to everybody, this goes for voters and this goes for politicians and aspiring candidates. You're on notice, everyone. Do the right thing. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives, putting out a call to arms for everyone to make sure that 2018 is not just a bunch of scrubs getting in office because we didn't push them. You push them. Have a good night, everybody. I'm out.